Well, today I'm going to take you on a tour from another side of my garden. I did a video a week or so ago about my unique bottle tree that I've created, and right around circling that bottle tree is this Peggy Martin rose that is growing. And she's doing very well, actually. I'm very proud of her. Rule number 1, don't move a rose during summer. I wonder if this is really where I want that rose, but I'm not going to move her right now. It is just too hot. And I would lose. In fact, I have another rose in the wrong place that is doing beautifully, and I'm not going to move it right now either. This isn't a good time to move things. And this right across from here is this rose. It's the border of my rose garden. And when I started that, I immediately transplanted some things from my garden. And I told you that it would be a waiting period, and it's really an ugly place right now. But I'm watering it, and it'll come back. Most of it will anyway, if not all of it will come back. But I'm going to have to go through some ugliness. And I'm going to do as little moving as possible here, although I am changing my plan considerably. But zinnias, I can't get enough zinnias. Zinnias are my personality. Can't get enough roses. Something about them is my personality too. A lot of it's the fragrance, so I try to get fragrant roses, although I don't always get a fragrant rose. Sometimes my rose, there's one right inside there, growing right inside there. That's a Laguna rose, which is it's not a tall rose, but it's very fragrant. So I put her in this container with these zinnias, and my plan for her is to grow up this Leaning Tower of Pisa right now. I need to fix that. There's always something to fix in a garden, and that's really what I'm going to talk to you about today, is the fact that we always need to fix something. I'm going to talk about a plan for that. But one of the reasons I came over here, in addition to showing you my zinnias, was to show you this glorious crackerjack marigold. And I'm going to tell you, when it's good, it's very good. But it can surely I didn't plant it correctly. So I guess what I'm going to do is talk to you not about the marigold, because it's beautiful. That marigold plant is about 4 feet tall. Not my grandma's marigold. Smells like my grandma's marigold, which is a tonic. That fragrance is a tonic for me. And I'm going to skip around as usual. When I was a child, I thought it was an ugly smell. I'm like, wow, that doesn't smell like a flower. I expected my grandma's flowers to smell like her irises, which always smelled wonderful to me. A few minutes ago, somebody in one of my plant groups asked me what I was growing over there, and I had not posted the video that what I have over there. Over there, folks, is a fragrance garden. A fragrance garden. Well, let's walk on across here and look. Walking out of the rose garden into my fragrance garden. That when I've already said that I order a lot of my plants from American Meadows. But the autumn plants, I had not known if they were going to bloom or not, or even grow. But right now, I want to make a pitch for the plant identification app that I use. It is Picture This. Picture This. At the same time, I'm going to tell you something else. But first there were so many crackerjack marigolds in here that I didn't even know that these things that I had ordered from American meadows were growing, or trying to grow. So right now I'm going to tell you one of the purposes of this post is to distinguish between a jungle and a garden. What I had done when I ordered, because I had some Cracker Jack marigold seed last year, and I knew I loved it. I love its tall, branching habit. So I ordered a whole bunch of seed, and I just dumped them without any. I did not. Well, it worked. They grew, but they grew not to be a garden, but to be a jungle. And there's a difference between a jungle and a garden. Technically speaking, the difference between a jungle and a garden is that a jungle will choke out other things that need to come along, like my mountain mint. I just found it. My evening primroses. There are several evening primrose plants in here. My aromatic aster. Thank you, God. I thought that had not made it. More evening primroses right back there. I have lots of butter. I mean, that yellow is a butterfly weed. I couldn't think of the name of it yesterday, but that's a butterfly weed. This is milkweed. Milkweed is a necessity if you want to host monarch butterflies, caterpillars. A monarch butterfly may sip nectar from all kinds of plants, but it'll only lay eggs on a milkweed because that's what the caterpillar likes to eat. That's God's making a planning ahead. So I moved one milkweed from here over to the other side because this has gotten thick with milkweed too. Over there, let's see. Can't remember now, but I know that's northern sea oats right there. Button bush. There's a lot of there's several. I think those right there are button bushes. And I'm gonna do a blog post later today. I have an appointment this morning, so I'm not gonna be able to do it immediately. But I don't think I even said this is July 17th. It's Wednesday. But now I want to talk to you about the difference between a jungle and a garden. I'm going to say some more about that. I've said many times I'm a stream of consciousness writer, and that's what I did when I threw out half a pound of Cracker Jack marigold seeds in that space. I spit it out and let it go. And what I got out of that was a jungle. The same thing can happen with stream of consciousness writing. When you're writing in stream of consciousness, you're just blurting out everything that comes into your head fast, not stopping, not editing, not speculating about, well, did I use the right word or not? Well, just use whatever word comes to mind, because there's another phase to writing. That's called editing. I came in here this morning and started this actually yesterday, pulled up I probably have pulled up 100 of these Cracker Jack marigold plants, and they were growing well. Some of them are ready to bloom, and that was painful. It was painful. It was expensive. The seed wasn't free. I had to pay for the seed. I had to plant it, had to tend it, but then I had to let it go because it wasn't working. That's the way editing works. I've taught writing actually in college, and I've also taught writing workshops. I've also a painter, and I've taught painting workshops. And regardless of which art my students were attempting to do or trying out, they never wanted to edit. They never wanted to delete. Oh, don't make me edit this. I might ruin it. Well, guess what? It's not working. It's already ruined. Edit it, and maybe you'll have a chance to pull something good out of that, out of what you started. There's a very good chance you can. But when you edit, you go back after. Save the first draft. Always save the first draft. Don't just start editing without saving, because you may make changes that you wish you had not. And so you need to be able to save the first draft and then go on to the second draft. But then start going through what you've said with a fine-tooth comb, seeing if you could have said things a little differently that would have been a little better. First, deleting all your Cracker Jack marigolds, the things that have made it just such a word salad that nobody is going to find any meaning there. And the second thing is to start scrutinizing, being specific. Being specific. Well, gardens and jungles are alike. In both a garden and a jungle, there's lots of greenery. Things grow. But a garden is a little different from a jungle's wild. Wild. That can be a good connotation if that's what you're trying to say. If you're trying to say that something is wild and out of control to a certain extent, then use the word jungle. If you're talking about something that's more manicured, even though it looks like it's out of control, there is a certain amount of control, then use the word garden. I recommend that everybody get a thesaurus. There are free thesauruses online. Thesaurus.com is one. It also, you can switch back and forth between a thesaurus and a dictionary, but get a thesaurus. And if you wonder if you used the right word, look it up. Put that word in the thesaurus, and see if there's a better word. If a word's kind of flat and limp, put that word in your thesaurus. Look it up and see if you can find a better word. When you go back and edit, you might also want to add some descriptive words, some description. But don't let the forest be the enemy of the trees. Don't just put description in there for description's sake, because it'll fall flat it'll fall flat. I guarantee you. It'll look like what she did is she just went in there, or he, and started trying to use some flowery words. Ooh, I'm going to be a flowery writer. Well, flowery words are flowery. There's a difference in a bouquet and just too flowery. Too flowery. And you would think that I would say you can never have too much floweriness. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you need some space in between the flowers. And that's what you do when you edit. You go back and you look for the breathable space. Try to find places for your text to breathe. try to find the better words, the more specific words. If you mean garden, say garden. If you mean jungle, say jungle. There's a difference. And that's also the time to correct your grammar and your spelling. Don't try to do that during your free writing, your stream of consciousness, because when you stop, oh, I need to know how to spell this word, you break the spell. Because what you're trying to do when you write in stream of consciousness, you're trying to create a spell. Well, I don't know whether you're trying to create a spell. A spell is created. Magic is unlocked. And that's when your intuition is free to come in and do its thing, turn your words into magic.